We have already outlined some of the major principles of the Enlightenment. Now let's turn to the thinkers themselves, beginning with John Locke, often called the grandfather of Enlightenment political philosophy. We encountered Locke earlier when discussing his opposition to King James II. But Locke's most influential contributions concern his answer to a fundamental question: how and why do governments exist? And, just as importantly, what is the nature and proper purpose of government? For centuries, the dominant belief was that government existed because God created it. Kings ruled by divine right, they were anointed by God, and their subjects were expected to obey them because disobedience was essentially rebellion against God's will. This idea fit neatly within the old, great chain of being, where everything in the universe had its fixed, God-assigned place. But the scientific revolution had shaken the foundations of that worldview. If the universe no longer operated according to mystical hierarchies, could politics still be explained that way? Locke thought not. Locke argued that governments do not originate from divine appointment. Instead, they arise from a political contract, an agreement between the rulers and the ruled. In this contract, people agree to give up some of their natural liberty in exchange for protection and security. Locke explained that in the earliest times, human beings lived in a state of nature. In that state, people possessed freedom, property, and the ability to do as they pleased with both. However, there was one major problem. The strong could prey upon the weak. Without a government, individuals could easily be robbed, enslaved, or killed by those with greater power. To escape this dangerous condition, people voluntarily joined together to form governments. Each person surrendered a portion of their absolute freedom so that everyone could enjoy greater safety, stability, and justice. This is the essence of the social contract. According to Locke, rulers are responsible for providing justice, protection, and the benefits of orderly society. In return, subjects offer loyalty, taxes, and obedience. But because government is based on agreement, the ruler must also recognize that every human being possesses natural rights, rights that come from God and exist prior to any government. For Locke, these rights were life, liberty, and property. Most Americans know the slightly revised version, Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Happiness, from Thomas Jefferson's Declaration of Independence. But Jefferson's ideas come straight from Locke. Locke insisted that people must have freedom, but freedom does not mean the ability to do anything one wants. True freedom means acting as one chooses, so long as one does not infringe on the equal rights of others. Freedom requires responsibility and reasonable behavior. Most importantly, Locke taught that if a ruler violates natural rights or fails to uphold the terms of the social contract, the people have the right to overthrow that ruler and replace him with one who will honor the agreement. In other words, Locke provided the philosophical justification for political revolution. This is why Locke's writings were so influential to the American founding fathers. If you read the Declaration of Independence and compare it to Locke's political theory, you will immediately recognize the similarities. The American Revolution was grounded in Locke's principles.